Welcome back to Low Energy Opinions. I decided to do it out here because it's a really nice day. You know, I might as well. For those of you who don't know what this is about, I'm basically going to be just talking about whatever the fuck I want. This is what the opinions part of the low energy is. I'm also going to fix the camera because that's driving me crazy. That's better. Right, so as you can tell by the title, it's going to be on two topics, but really one. I will be talking about incels, but honestly, this is really more about my personal experiences and things I've picked up over the years of being in relationships and then out of relationships. And that's all this is gonna be. But first things first, why am I doing this? Well, like I said before, I only do the opinion videos when I actually think I have something to add. And this one, not too long ago, I was on TJ Kirk's live stream, Abandon Hope, and he was talking about incels. And I typed in the comments saying that I haven't been in a relationship for years, and you know I am prime material for incel when you think about it, and I'll explain why in a minute. I'm not. Let's make that abundantly fucking clear. I'm not that desperate for views. But someone in the chat asked me, how did I change? Because I went from somebody who was constantly trying to go out and meet somebody and trying to get a relationship working. I never really liked the whole one night stand, short fling thing. I prefer long-term relationships. I really do. So, what happened? Well, basically, I told them I just got into a mental rut where I kind of, after I got out of a relationship, I bounced around for a bit, and then I just kept on bouncing, really. One thing led to another, to another, to another, to another. I'd come up with one excuse not to do anything, one excuse not to take a chance, or you know, I'd be on those dating websites and I'd just stop. I'd be on Tinder and I'd just stop. I'd stop replying to messages, or you know, I'd see someone I'd like, for example, even online. I'd see someone I'd like and I wouldn't even take a chance. You don't always have to take a chance, obviously. But most of that really came from just where my head was at the time, which was, I'm not in the mood for this. And then that kept on happening. And that kept on happening and happening. And I got into a rut. A rut I'm still in. So, how does this tie in with incels? Well, if you don't know what an incel is, this won't be the video for you. But I can link you the wiki down below of what technically counts as an incel. In a nutshell, though, an incel is somebody who believes that, particularly men. Is there a female incel? I don't think so. If there is, whoa, we found ourselves a fucking unicorn. But basically, it's a guy who believes that society has forced him not to be in a relationship, forced him not to get laid, forced him to be alone. And he's blaming everyone else but himself. And there's always these differences, like some people are okay with this, some people aren't and want to bitch and whine, and then there are some people who think because of it they're entitled to sex. I'm none of those. I'm not an incel. Because, quite honestly, they disgust me. Instead, what I am is a guy who simply stopped trying. And that is something that a lot of people fail to remember about relationships is that they're not actually that hard to get into. Everyone is single at some point in their life. And you need to more or less ask yourself, are you okay with that? Now, more often than not, you don't want to be in a relationship. You don't want to have to deal with someone else constantly interrupting your private time. And that's not a metaphor for jacking off, because you can be in a relationship all you want and just do this. If they have a problem with that, well, maybe cut down a bit, but at the same time, they have to, give and take, and we'll get to that in a minute. And one more thing, just because I'm talking about relationship advice, this is my personal advice. I'm not some fucking love guru or some shit like that. I mean, look at the state of me, for fuck's sake. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. But this is the stuff I've noticed. You have to try, and that's the key thing. You have to try in a relationship, even to get it. And often it's the fear of being rejected, or maybe the fear of getting in over your head. I often have to deal with that myself. As I start talking to someone more and more, I start wondering, do I really want to be with this person for a long period of time? Do I? Does she want to be with me? Which is all natural, and it's actually good that you want to ask these questions. If not, well, there's nothing wrong with that. A short-term relationship is still something. If that's what you were after, that's no problem. You could have 1,000 short-term relationships. It's a little bit unstable to a lot of people, but that's usually their problem, not yours. If you're happy with yourself, that's fine. That's why also, if you don't want a relationship, if you don't want to get laid, if you just want to spend all your time with your friends, or your family, or yourself, that's all well and good. But the thing with incels is that they're not okay with it, and they are railing, as they always have, long before we put that label of incel on them. Now, saying that, it's not hard to find someone. It takes effort, but all things in life takes effort. It takes effort to cook a good meal. It takes effort to get paid from work. It takes effort to wash yourself in the bath thoroughly, and that's actually something with incels. They don't tend to look after themselves. As you can see here, I don't tend to look after myself, but that's because right now, looking good hasn't really been high on my priorities. Spending money has been high on my priorities. Not a lot of it, but whenever I get it, I spend it. Trips, games, shit ton of alcohol. A while ago, I was buying tons of art. And that was it, though. With me, the reason I wasn't getting into a relationship wasn't because women weren't rejecting me. It's because women didn't know I existed. It's because I wasn't putting myself out there. I'd go out and get drunk, but I wouldn't get drunk to talk to people, particularly not women. If it happened, that would be great. That's what I always say. I'd always say, if it happens, it happens. But it wouldn't. It wouldn't happen because I wasn't putting myself, I wasn't trying. Women appreciate when you try. You know what else? I don't know about the rest of men, but I like when women try. Even if I can think of the worst times ever a woman's hit on me. When they were so drunk they could barely see straight, or they were so full of themselves that I actually thought they might have a mental disability or some sort of mental damage. I mean, they must have been. They were hitting on me. But even then, I've got more respect for them than a guy who doesn't wash, doesn't look after themselves, who expects this to be given to them. I've seen comments about incels saying things like, everyone has the right to find happiness and comfort, so we should be given it. We should be given it like we get water, food. No, because you're not entitled to that. You're entitled to go after it. You're entitled to seek it. You're not entitled to get it. You're not like given a card that says like one free girlfriend, you know, and you buy them at the store in packs. No, you don't. It doesn't work like that. But you're allowed to follow whoever you want. You're allowed to chance your arm and go up to someone that you probably don't have a shot in hell in succeeding with, even to have a decent conversation. And they can reject you. And you had every right to do that. Now, you know, time and place, social norms, all that little nuances play into it. But for the most part, somebody who wants to be in a relationship should go into a relationship. I'm ready to get back into a relationship. That means I have to start taking better care of myself. It means I have to put myself out there more. And I will be. Because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the excuses I throw out. Because, you know, I keep filling myself with these little comforts. I can do a lot of this stuff with someone. Like traveling, for example. I really want to travel with people. Particularly a woman. Particularly a woman I actually give a shit about. But I don't. Sometimes I go over and meet a girl. That's always fun. But it's never been planned. But incels believe that, like, it's society's fault. It's way women are wired in to want this particular creature when in fact, no, they need to have a creature more like me. Or, alright, I'm going to put up in the corner here, or here, a picture of Kaya Orson from the official podcast. Great podcast. I know a lot of people who watch me listen to Drunken Peasants and DFF, but if you don't know what the official podcast is, that could be your third one. And he's one of the hosts. And he's fascinated with talking to like really odd people, you know, people who would justify, say, child rape, or they're not child rapists themselves, but they find this weird sort of loophole and go like, oh, well, technically there's nothing wrong with blah, blah, blah. Like, no. But Kaya thinks it's hilarious, and he wants to know more about them. And he had a 4-hour interview with a incel. And the shit that the incel was saying. I went from being very sad for him, to be very angry at him, to be very confused and laughing at him. So I think mostly he's just ill. But the shit he was coming out with, like the way women can't inherently feel pain from rape, or the way that he would rape if he could get away with it. He never actually quite said it, but if you ever watch that interview, if you want, I put it up on the DP Facebook a while back. If anyone wants to, I can put it in the description down below. It's a 4-hour slog, but it is, wow. I was offset for the rest of the day. It was a crazy experience. But incels, you see, they get together and they circle jerk. Sometimes literally. Because some of them are suppressed homosexuals or even asexuals who don't really want to admit it to themselves. Like, they're a whole mess of people. But a lot of them like start blaming others because it's always easier to blame others. That's why I know I'm not an incel, because it's my doing. It's my fault. I've been rejected by women before. I've been rejected by women before when I've worn the suit and I had the shave, I had money in my pockets, and I was being witty and charming and making them laugh, and then someone else comes along and he's better looking and he's fitter, and he just sweeps her off her feet. I was like, oh well, got on with my day. Got on with my fucking day. I was glad I chatted with her for a while because she was interesting. Another time, another thing that an incel would definitely rip apart. A lot of the girlfriends I had, they're now, or girls who were interested with me for a while, They're now in long-term relationships. I was literally the guy before they met their partner. Do I feel jealous about that? Do I feel pissy and bitter? Fuck no. I'm happy for them. If I felt like if I felt like they were bad people, I wouldn't have been interested in them anyway. There are plenty of women who I found out later on. No, I shouldn't have even looked in their general direction. It was a bad choice. Even then, I wish those women well. They need more help than most. Right, so my camera just said I was maxed out on memory. So I'll keep this as quick as possible then. But yeah, I don't actually, like, hate them. I wish them all the well. Just like every time I got rejected at a bar or online, or even when a woman, like, I'm just making a joke and she thinks I'm hitting on her. These things have happened in the past, they'll happen in the future. That comedy night, I said something, and the way she looked at me, what did she think I was trying to get in her pants or something? No. I said nothing though. I didn't go, well, actually. But look, I'm going to get myself into order. And I'm going to put myself out there. And it could take weeks, months, years. And the first date I go on could turn out to be a fucking disaster. I could be with a woman for a week, or a month, or even a year. Hell, I could be with someone for 5 years and then it goes down. But here's the thing. That's that. Like, it's something you just have to deal with. It's scary and it's hard. It's hard to lose weight. I bought a fucking treadmill to motivate me, to more or less shame me into using it every day. It's also hard for me to, it's hard for everyone, but it's hard for me just to keep, simple things like, say, hygiene. When was the last time I had a shave? Well over a month now. But I gotta keep doing that. Even if not for them, for myself. I gotta treat myself better. I'm getting older every day. But if you don't want to have a relationship, that's fine. If you have been rejected by an individual woman, yeah, that sucks, and that's gonna happen. And I mean, like, they don't mean just reject, like, sorry, no, but rather, yeah, well, that woman's a bitch anyway. You could do better. Whoever you are, you can probably do better. But you need to just stop obsessing over sex. You need to stop worrying over rejection. You need to stop doing half a dozen different things. Like, you really have to ask yourself, like, how can I improve myself to be a better potential partner? How can I improve myself to be a better me? And there's 1,000 different things. Just like there are 1,000 different people who would be perfect examples of incels or outright state that they're incels. But notice how I also, up to now, haven't mentioned, like, the people who go on murderous rampages. Yeah, a lot of them would be incels too. Rejection breeds bitterness, and some bitterness can get pretty fucking bad. But here's the thing. You're not obligated to get sex. You're not obligated to get a girlfriend. But like I said earlier, you are able to go out there and do it. So go out there and do it. I don't want to. Well then, why are you complaining? Your life is the way you want it to be if you don't go out and get this. Go out and get this. Go out and try. Go out and put yourself out there. You may end up getting humiliated and heartbroken. Yeah. But what the fuck? Like, what do you do after that? You get right back up and you try again. And you try again, and you try again, and you try again, and you try again. But always remember that every single person you talk to is their own unique case. They're not all just part of this big cabal, gelatinous orb that is titled female. And even if it's like you only seem to attract one type of woman, then say they, after a while, are no longer interested in you. Well, hell, that says more about you, let's be honest here, than it does about them, because each and every of these women don't really know the other women. But you gotta try. And this is to any incel who ever heard it. If you want a relationship, you got to try. And if you fail, you try again. You give yourself a little bit of a grace period because you don't want to fucking rebound. And you try again. Now with me, my grace period's long gone at this stage. I need to get back on the fucking horse. And I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll find someone. But every time I get rejected, I won't say, but I did everything right. No, I'll go, right, well that wasn't meant to happen. And get on with my fucking day. Like an adult. Because you're an adult. If you're thinking about these sort of things, you're an adult. Even if you're a fucking teenager, you should start acting like an adult. And if you don't want this, then there shouldn't be a drama. Why are you fretting? So, yeah. Ooh, something broke over there. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. If you want to talk, comment sections below. Like, dislike, I'm open to debate. I'm open to discussion. I'm open to have a subsequent one on, say, MGTOW, which is very similar, but not similar. But above all else, don't be a fucking asshole. Don't be a fucking asshole. Regardless of what you're after in life, whether you're single or you're in a relationship with someone, don't be an asshole. So, yeah, I'm going to go now. I'm going to be on later on this evening for a live stream. I'm going to play Tomb Raider, where I will sexually objectify a young woman fighting for her life by staring at her ass before she gets impaled by a spike, which is probably a sexual metaphor. And I'm also going to play War for the Overworld, which is a class struggle as working class proletariat overthrow the bourgeoisie aristocracy. So check in that. That's going to be at 9:30. I'll put up a reminder and yeah. And if you want me to talk about something else in the future, again, comments are right there. But yeah, I'm out of here. So don't be a con.